Hey, what's up, everybody? Matt here with Halloween Daily News, and today we are going to dive into the brand new official trailer for Netflix's new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. This is reportedly a direct sequel to Tobe Hooper's original 1974 classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface is back, originally played by Gunnar Hansen. He is now played by Mark Burnham in the new film. Sally Hardesty, the original film's only survivor, is also back. She was originally played by the late Marilyn Burns and now portrayed by Owen Fure. Both of these legacy characters are featured throughout the new trailer, and I just have to say, Leatherface looks awesome, and Sally looks like she has been waiting for this moment for almost 50 years. The film will premiere exclusively on Netflix on February 18th. Let's dive into this trailer right now. All right, so the trailer really jumps right in to the action with what appears to be some sort of police vehicle crashing in to some farm equipment here out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And you'll see, right away, we have that dirty Texas chainsaw look, grainy, old school, and right away, sparing no time, giving us some bloodshed. I believe this is Nell Hudson, who plays the character Ruth in the film. And coming up here, we're going to get our first good look at Leatherface right off the bat to get us going in this trailer. Immediately setting the tone that this is a really sparse, bare place out in the middle of nowhere where bad things can happen and nobody's going to know for a long time. And there you hear the breathing. And I love this shot right here. Let's just go back one frame, shall we? There he is, Old Man Leatherface, 48 years after the events of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, the director, David Blue Garcia, has said that he doesn't necessarily disregard the events of the sequels entirely. It's just that they're not specifically acknowledged. So this is yet another requel, if you will, to the original classic. I love this first look at Leatherface. Just terrifying and really just setting, again, the tone that look at this vast open space. And there is this monster right in the middle of it.
So Harlow is a ghost town.
Trailer set in Harlow, Texas. Very fitting that it is a ghost town.
Place. All it needs is young blood.
That's some of our new cast members there. Sarah Yarkin.
I don't want to live here. This is a
and Elsie Fisher. That's Sarah Yarkin on the left. She plays Melody, and Elsie on the right. She plays Lila.
Chance for people to start fresh somewhere.
And part of the plot of this is that their characters want to bring in some young people, kind of turn this rundown ghost town in Texas into almost a modern tourist attraction. And of course, that's not going to go well with one particular local.
Somewhere safe.
Looks like Leatherface is checking them out right here through the window. It's hard to know for sure that that's him looking, but that's exactly what that's certainly what the trailer wants us to think.
Hey guys.
And right here, I love this shot. Very reminiscent of the original film. Clearly inspired by the iconic house and our first look at that house in Tobe Hooper's classic. You also get the sound effect of that old school camera flash charging up, which is so synonymous with these films and especially the original.
You should see this.
And they make that fatal mistake that everybody in any chainsaw film makes, going where they're not supposed to be going. Should have just let the sleeping giant sleep. Really cool shot of the family right there. We can assume that's Leatherface with his face scratched out there.
What are you doing?
Now, right here, she says, "What are you doing in our house?" I don't know if this is an actual family member. They're certainly leading us to believe that. I believe this is Alice Krige. She's played a lot of really memorable characters in various genre films throughout the years. I'm sure she's going to do a great job.
In our house. You really shouldn't be here.
A lot of these shots just very reminiscent of the original and some of the images that we remember seeing there. That's Jacob Lattimore, and he's about to get a good look at our new Leatherface. A great entrance for Leatherface right there into this scene. I love the reflection. I love the look right there. Both the cinematography, the coloring here, it's not very saturated. It's very muted. It's very earthy. It's very dirty and grimy. Very much how we will remember that original Chainsaw film.
Oh my God.
Looks of pure terror. Again, there's Melody hiding underneath a bed or some furniture here. It's not going to take long for these kids to learn what they're up against, it appears, and it's also not going to take long for this film to bring on the bloodshed. Let's go back to this. Leatherface bringing down the hammer. Look at that carnage. This is going to be brutal. And there's going to be a lot of this, a lot of fear, a lot of hiding in cramped, dirty spaces until he revs up that iconic chainsaw. There it is. And again, this is from the minds that brought you Evil Dead and Don't Breathe, meaning Fede Alvarez. I love Fede Alvarez's Evil Dead. And that is, whether you call it a remake or a requel or a sequel, I just consider it kind of a Kanan sequel after the first three Evil Dead films. But I actually love that film. And the fact that he is a producer on this, David Blue Garcia is the director. Very excited.
This is Hardesty.
Now here's a great shot. This is the intro of Sally Hardesty. You hear her answer the phone. That's Owen Fure, now playing the role originated by the late Marilyn Burns. Here's a newspaper clipping. Only survivor of Chainsaw Massacre tells her story. Clearly, she has done an interview or two over the last 48 years. There's also a drawing of Leatherface, who apparently has not really been seen very much since those events. That's something that the director revealed in prior interviews, that Leatherface has kind of been laying low, more or less, minding his own business for much of the last 48 years. Of course, now these young people are going to show up in his town and kind of awaken the sleeping giant. It won't take long, though, for somebody to eventually get smart and call the only person that survived him in that original event in 1974, and that being Sally Hardesty. And I love how Owen answers the phone and just Hardesty. Very, very, she's going to be the badass warrior character that has been waiting for this day to come face to face with Leatherface again. Very much similar to Laurie Strode waiting 40 years for Michael Myers to have her showdown again with Michael Myers. It's going to be very similar here, I believe, with Sally and Leatherface. And hey, I am totally here for it. It is about time that Sally is brought back in a meaningful way. And who better to stop this monster than the one that got away, the original one that got away. And there she is. Looks like she's at a butcher house herself. Looks like a pig, skinned and gutted, hanging behind her. Bloody hands. And again, I think this version of Sally, very rightfully, is going to be a very damaged but very vengeful and badass version of the character. Clearly, these last 5 decades have hardened her, as if her original encounter with Leatherface and his family didn't harden her enough already.
I'm afraid your old friend's back.
And I don't know who that is on the other end of the line, but he says, I'm afraid your old friend is back. And that, of course, is going to send her into action. And we are going to have a showdown. Sally Hardesty face to face with Leatherface once again. And she actually says the name Leatherface here in just a minute. And we get another really good look at yet a different mask or a different look of Leatherface in this film. Check it out. Of course, Kim Hinkle from the original film is once again involved in this new version, as he has been in most of the films throughout the franchise.
50 years I've been waiting for this night.
There's that Polaroid that, if you'll remember in the original film, The Hitchhiker, he has that Polaroid camera, and that should be a very familiar image to fans of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That is from the van, from the early moments of the film.
Just to see him again.
Who?
And she says she's been waiting 50 years just to see him again. One of the characters asks who, and then she says the words,
Leatherface.
Leatherface. And there is our first good look at our new Leatherface. I love this look, you guys. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. But I mean, he's got the apron on, clearly. You can see he's wearing the iconic apron. And he has just got done doing some business. This Leatherface looks ferocious, terrifying. Some iconic quick shots here of Leatherface about to rev up that bloody, rusty chainsaw. And I love this shot. We saw an image of this silhouette released a few months back. Here we see a little more of that scene, and it looks like one of the tour buses. Because like I said, our main characters are young people coming into this rundown town, and they want to turn it into a tourist attraction, per se. And Leatherface is not going to be too happy about that. When one of the tour buses arrives, well, he's going to get on that bus. And we see a little bit of that at the end of this trailer. Actually, my favorite part of this trailer. It looks like it's going to be just a bloodbath. There you see Elsie's character screaming, run. And I just want to go back for a second because this is some classic Leatherface right here. Leatherface runs. He runs in pretty much all these movies. It's one of my favorite things about Leatherface. He's not Michael stalking in the shadows, moving very slow, stealthily, almost supernaturally. Leatherface is a giant with a giant tool of destruction, and he will run after you, and it is terrifying every time he does. This is a great shot of Mark Burnham as our new Leatherface, chainsaw in hand, wearing the apron, chasing down one of our new characters. They promise that the face of madness returns. This is an image that we saw, a very memorable image, already iconic image, I think, from that teaser trailer released a few weeks back. Again, this is Mark Burnham playing our new Leatherface. Seeing that he is out here around those same poppy type plants and that we saw in the opening shots of this trailer makes me wonder if one of the characters in that police vehicle in that opening scene of the trailer might become his latest mask.
Looks like it's you that he wants.
And there's Sally again telling Elsie's character, it looks like it's you that he wants.
I'm not gonna let him kill you.
And I love this shot of Sally Hardesty. Owen Fury, she's going to do an awesome job in this. This trailer really solidifies it. We didn't really see her any in the teaser. We saw her briefly in the teaser, but this really gives us our first idea of how this legacy character is being brought back, and she is clearly in the Sarah Connor, Laurie Strode, badass female Avenger role, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's time. It's totally fitting. She means business. If anybody's going to take out Leatherface, it's going to be Sally. And this is another iconic image. I mean, looking up those stairs, there's Leatherface. Again, it looks like the Leatherface we know and love. The mask just a little bit out of focus, but it doesn't look that dissimilar to, one of his more recognizable masks from the original film. But it is clearly a new take. Possibly that one we see him putting on out in the field earlier. He's got his giant mallet in hand, just like he had the first time we saw him in 1974. And again, the apron. Yeah, it looks like Mark Burnham is really embodying Leatherface. And just the look at this film, just the overall look at this film, the colors, the lighting. I love the way this film looks. And if it's half as good as this trailer, I'm going to be really happy with the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No evil, fear no evil.
And I don't know if we saw that coming. He just launches that mallet this time. Here's a pretty wild shot. We've seen him do that early morning dance, that iconic dance at the end of the film as Sally makes her escape. This looks like it's kind of a throwback to that. And I always say that the scariest monsters are the ones that come out in broad daylight. And Leatherface is one of those, and that certainly is one thing that this trailer makes clear that, yeah, he's not just going to be attacking and be around after dark. He is going to be out in broad daylight plenty in this film. And I think that's one thing that I'm happy that the filmmakers have stuck with, because that is kind of part of Leatherface's MO, is he'll attack right out there in broad daylight. Now here's that bus scene I was talking about. This is just a great scene. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun and probably one of the goriest moments in the film, maybe in this franchise even. A lot of people forget that the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as intense as it is, and it is extremely intense to watch, there's surprisingly little blood and gore actually in the film itself. A lot of people forget that. But this film is going to have plenty, clearly, this new requel. And here, Leatherface jumping on the neon-lit tour bus. And you'll see that the kids on the bus, they all pull out their phones.
Try anything and you're canceled, bro.
They're all videotaping him, putting him on social media, on their live feeds. And one of the characters says, if you try anything, you're canceled, bro. Of course, Leatherface answers that by revving up the chainsaw, and you'll see what happens next. But again, this looks like it's going to be absolutely one of the best, most memorable, most talked about scenes in the whole film. I am totally sold on it. I can't wait.
Oh, fuck.
The carnage in this movie. Leatherface is back, everybody. And again, one more little sound effect cue there at the end. That iconic sound of the old school camera flash charging up. This trailer looks great. It's everything I want from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It's got legacy ties. It's got homage to the original. And it looks awesome. It looks dirty, gritty, grimy, violent, super gory. Everything you want from a Leatherface movie. And yeah, our new cast members, I mean, we don't get to see a whole lot of our new younger cast members. I'm sure they're all going to do a fine job. But as far as Owen Fury taking on the role of Sally Hardesty, couldn't be more excited about that. It looks like she was absolutely cast right. And this is the way I want to see Sally in this film moving forward. And the same for Mark Burnham. I mean, he looks like he has really embodied everything that I remember about Leatherface and that I love about Leatherface. So I'll be watching this. I can't wait to see more. And yeah, this scene, this bus massacre is absolutely going to be one I think we're all going to be talking about the day after this film premieres. All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what I missed in this breakdown, and let me know how excited you are for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of our other upcoming trailer breakdowns, exclusive interviews, live streams, and lots more content coming right here to the HDN YouTube channel. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.